y'all doing? I had to scarf some boards together to do the roof up there, and I went to get joists, and I could only get them 16 foot. I need them 18 foot, and I guess some builders around the local area, they could find them, but the local building supplies, they didn't have them. So what I'm doing here is I'm scarfing some together. So come here, I'll show you what I'm doing. You make a scarf joint like this, and then you can scarf the boards together. Then I'll take and put another piece on top and the bottom, sandwich it together and bolt it all through, and then it won't sag in the middle when I get them up there. But they have to catch both ends of these boards to work. And I'll take you up top there and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a minute. So we're just doing a nice beautiful evening here. We're doing this, making these scarf joints on here. And when you get one laid out, then all you have to do is take the other one and lay this on top of it, and they'll and draw the pattern out, and they both fit. So these measurements and this measurement don't really matter as long as you use the other board and you're flush on this side right here, and make sure that these are flush, and you put them all together and you put a clamp in it, and they come out pretty good. Ain't great, but it come out pretty good. Good enough that once I get it sandwiched in there, it'll be real nice. And right here is my sweet potatoes. I'm going to take these up next week. I think I'm feeling in here, I feel some sweet potatoes, so that'll be a video I make next week, because they all starting to look like they're drooping, and some of it's dying back right much now. I ain't got many leaves left, but I have stuck my finger in here and I do feel sweet potatoes. Look at that, see right there? That looks like a sweet potato. Yeah, it does. They're white hayman sweet potatoes. Okay, hold on a minute and we'll go upstairs and I'll show you what I'm talking about up there. Okay, GoPro. See, the way it works out is the 16 foot comes in between here and over there is 15.5, and that only leaves a couple inches on each side here to do it. And what it has to do, it has to catch the rafter on this joist, and it only had this much, so I've had to make these joists right here, and it's 4 of them to make, so I'll get them made up and try to get one of them in while I'm still crabbing right now. Right now I'm crabbing, and I got roughly 6 more weeks, hopefully 6 more weeks, that I'll be crabbing, and then we can get back into this. I wanted to show you all this too, because this is what held me up. This is all rotten in here. I took it out and I've let it dry, and what I'm going to do eventually, I'm going to have to take this out, and cut this down to about here, and put this whole piece in right up in here. And when I get outside, I'm gonna have to redo this piece from the outside. But so far, this is the worst part I've come to. Everything else has been fixable. Putting in headers, no problem. Putting in joists, no problem. Putting in the rafters, no problem. But this one here stopped me a little bit. So we'll get that done. Little by little. I mean, we'll get her. Okie doke then. Take her easy. GoPro, stop recording. I'm going to tell you a little story about when I was a kid. And my dad was a big gunner. And on the weekends, they'd come home with a load of ducks they'd killed up there all week. And they'd sit here in the kitchen and they'd clean them and pick the feathers. And I was a little boy. And I'd climb all under all these feathers. They'd be knee deep in that kitchen floor there. One time they came, had 200 black ducks and 25 geese. And Ma would sit there to the stove and singe the ducks and clean them in the sink. And Dad and some of the family members, they'd sit around and they'd pick all the ducks. This is what they would do a lot of weekends between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I remember that real fondly. When I was 5 or 6, Dad pointed the big gun at a game warden, scared the game warden real bad. And the next day, men come all dressed in suits and told him if he didn't give him the gun, he's going to jail. He said either the gun or you. I remember Dad saying, well, just take the damn thing then. But he said GD thing. Dad never said that before. So they hid underneath the ice, and they went and got it and took it from underneath the ice. Away they went with it. I think that was his last big gun. Here it. We've just turned around to go down the road. It's the first pot. You see the wire ties on there, and that lets us know that it's the first pot of the row. And we're baiting up the clams now. Not a whole lot dropped off. Mostly all sooks, female crabs. This is the run time of the year for the fall. We try to keep them turned over because they'll die pretty bad if they're not turned over. But you can't mess with them too much because they're biting each other, and they'll die from biting each other too. Men on the radio, they're talking about baseball. Gotta be fast this game. You ever been watching on the shore each day as a house is being built? And so we took a look over. You can see a lot better on the boat than you can through this camera. And you can see them coming with the gable ends with a backhoe. That's the town of Ophelia on the western shore.
Bringing it in the pieces.
It's a company that has the VHF on. Sometimes it's fun and we get a good laugh out of people. I might do that sometimes, just sit and record what the men say on the radio. If y'all like that, make that in the comments. I think some of it's funny. I don't know if you'd all understand it. I think that's the first Jimmy. There was 3 or 4 pots before I even seen a Jimmy. All sooks this time of year. These are what's called run sooks. They got a black stain that grows on them. A scientist told me it was like a microorganism or something, but it looks more like like where they've been buried in the mud, like a stain. That's the razor clam. Some of them still alive, so I pick through them and get the ones that's still alive. Razor clams we use fresh. That was fish, because once in a while we'll throw fish in there just to see if it's any better or not. Because sometimes crabs like fish, sometimes they like razor clams. It's hard to tell sometimes. There's a male. I'm gonna see what that male is. He is a 2. Oh, he was a Gemini. Okay. It don't look right big on this camera. But right now, number one male crab has to be 5.5 inches. Legal crab has to be 5 inches. All females are legal. All mature females are legal. Unless they're egg parent, then you can't save orange soot. Can't save a lemon crab, they call them. Can't save lemons. There's another one. They ain't the big giant jimmies we catch later on. When it gets cold and I got 3 or 4 hooded sweatshirts on, then we catch them great big giant jimmies, 8, 9 inch ones. I seen 1 or 2 today. I think, but I'd say maybe 8 inch one. Maybe one of them was 8 inches. But later on, one time when I was working with my nephew, Eddie Russ, we caught a whole bushel of 9 inch ones, 40 in the whole bushel. Sure weren't many a day in these pots. The whole shoreline's nothing but highs. The whole shoreline of it. Some of them are beautiful homes, probably $1 million homes more. There's a puffer toad in this one. We call them swelling toads. They got these beautiful emerald green eyes. Most time I throw them away, but right now we're giving them to the truck driver, who cleans them and gives them to some old ladies in his little town. Most time it takes us right around a minute or so on an average per pot. And this is on a nice day. On a rough day, it could be a lot longer. It's all about churn and burn. This is just one. I didn't run the whole thing. It was like 22 minutes for 25 pots, but I didn't run out the whole thing. It gets a little boring if I get bored doing it. I know you get bored watching it. But people kind of wanted me to explain the crabs. All females. One little, he's too small, I threw him back. He wasn't even a good peeler. See their eyes, how pretty they are? That was a number 2. He's smaller than he's only about 5 1/4 to 5 1/2. Uh-oh, something happened. What happened? Ah, the paddle broke. All the ropes unwinding. These pots are going in deep water later, so have to be hanked up. Uh-oh, yellow butterfly. Is it? Yeah. Yellow butterfly. Eddie Russ always said yellow butterfly at the end of it. Best is over when you see the yellow butterflies. You might have a point. Yeah, he was bucking me. Didn't matter how big he was too soft. A little 2 with long points. Oh, off the rim. Ah, I can't get him, little sneaky bugger. Oh, wait, I got opportunity. He's going after a paddle. Haha, got you. You've been harvested by a commercial waterman. Now, that's what's called hanking it up. You put all that line, you have to hank it up onto the cork because these pots are going to deep water later. And if you leave all that line out, 2 things. You can get it on your wheel because that's just too dangerous, all that drifting around. And it can drift around the bottom and catch on snags, especially over there. I don't know how many anchors we've caught there. And trap poles and fish trap poles and stumps. You just don't want a lot of line. You want just a little bit more line than the depth of water you're in. So you have to keep it hanked all up. And when the paddle broke, you couldn't keep the line on it. So I had to change it. So instead of keep going through it, I cut to the very end. This is when we're cleaning up to go home. This is our last row. We're cleaning up. We're heading home. A few fish, 2 peelers, 2 or 3 peelers. 2 or 3 peelers looking for this darn moth. I think I seen the handle, that's why I kept looking there, because I knew darn well I seen the handle of that thing there. I had another ribbon ending with it. There's the handle, I knew darn well. And then under there. Make me move everything there. This is fun. That's a dozen I picked that to eat. We kind of worked a little extra that day, so it's kind of a quick clean up. We're running late. We get the truck driver mad. All these crabs go to DC and they want them there as quick as possible. So before I go, I just want to say, take her easy. See you later.